As President Donald Trump's audacious crime crackdown barrels forward, boots on the ground in Washington, D.C., and whispers of expansion to other beleaguered metropolises, the early returns paint a canvas of stark contrasts. Plummeting murder rates clashing with surging arrests, jubilant proclamations from the White House colliding with cries of overreach from the streets. Hold tight as we unravel the tangible results so far, from lives potentially saved to courtrooms overwhelmed, and peer into the crystal ball of what broader deployments might unleash, including the political tremors shaking democratic foundations. This isn't just policy, it's a high-wire act that could redefine safety, freedom, and power in the land of the free. Let's start where the action is hottest. Washington, D.C., the proving ground for Trump's federal hammer since August 11, 2025, when over 2,200 National Guard troops stormed in to restore order, amid claims of a crime emergency. The numbers don't lie, and they're nothing short of jaw-dropping in some corners. Picture this. For 12 consecutive days through August 26, the capital recorded 0 homicides, a streak that shattered pre-COVID records and marked a historic lull in bloodshed. 47 since the troops arrived, only 2 murders have marred the city, a far cry from the grim average of a killing every other day that plagued D.C. for decades. 44 White House allies hail it as a lifesaver, estimating 6 or 7 souls spared in just 2 weeks, crediting the visible military presence for deterring violence. 38 broader stats bolster the boast. In the last 14 days alone, total crime dipped 11% citywide, with carjackings plunging a staggering 83%, robberies slashed by 46%, car thefts down 21%, and overall violent offenses reduced by 22%. 4751 The crackdown's enforcers have racked up 1,178 arrests in under 3 weeks, snagging 123 illegal firearms and targeting everything from violent thugs to undocumented immigrants and low-level offenders. 16 Even D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, no Trump fan, grudgingly conceded the wins in a recent interview. "We think there's more accountability in the system. That's driving down illegal behavior," she said, noting sharp drops in gun crimes, homicides, and carjackings. 2628 On the ground, a liquor store worker echoed the sentiment, telling reporters the streets feel calmer, under the watchful eyes of armed guardsmen, with fewer smash and grabs and a palpable sense of order restoring normalcy to daily life. 5734353637. But peel back the layers, and the picture darkens with complications that could foreshadow trouble if this model spreads. Critics argue the crime dip was already underway. Violent incidents were at a 30-year low before the troops showed up, down 26% year-to-date in 2025, thanks to local efforts and national trends. 4211 Many arrests stem from minor infractions or immigration checks rather than hardcore violence, leading to accusations that the operation is more about optics than outcomes. 40 DC's courts are buckling under the weight. A deluge of cases has sparked chaos, with failures to indict suspects promptly and skyrocketing detention rates straining resources. "It's a real mess," one official lamented. 40 troops have been spotted raking leaves and patrolling tourist hotspots like the safest districts, not the high-crime zones where they're supposedly needed most, raising eyebrows about misplaced priorities. 918 And then there's the human toll. Reports of aggressive searches dubbed "the most illegal I've ever seen" by civil liberties advocates, with streams of alleged abuses fueling protests and eroding trust in communities of color. 33 neighborhoods remain split. One fatal shooting recently highlighted the divide, with some residents welcoming the crackdown for safety while others decry it as an occupying force that heightens tensions without addressing root causes like poverty. 49. Echoes of this duality ripple beyond D.C., where earlier deployments set the stage. In Los Angeles, the June 2025 mobilization of 2,000 guardsmen to quell immigration protests and clear over 70 homeless camps yielded hundreds of arrests and dispersed unrest, but it also sparked backlash over heavy-handed tactics and didn't halt ongoing declines in crime that were already in motion. 17 Nationwide, the FBI's ramped-up role under Trump has delivered big hauls. Over 12,400 violent crime and gang arrests, massive drug seizures including 1,430 kilograms of fentanyl, and contributed to a 17% homicide drop across 30 cities. 4346 Yet, in places like St. Louis, where 200 permanent FBI agents doubled violent arrests to 20,099 this year, skeptics point to pre-existing trends and warn of over-policing's long-term scars. Now, imagine this blueprint unfurling across the map. Trump's threats to clean up Chicago, Baltimore, New York, Oakland, and beyond, with up to 1,700 more troops mobilizing in 19 states and an executive order for specialized guard units hinting at permanence. 4714 short-term. Expect similar shocks. Swift arrests spiking, visible deterrence curbing street violence. Trump himself bragged Chicago could be solved in 1 week, potentially mirroring DC's homicide halt and fostering perceived accountability that saves lives. 4152 community leaders like Chicago's Pastor Corey Brooks see it as a bridge to grassroots fixes, buying time for programs that have already cut local killings by 75%. But the shadows loom larger. Escalated racial frictions in minority-heavy areas, where mistrust could boil over into riots, overwhelmed courts nationwide leading to backlogs and miscarriages of justice, and a recruitment crisis for the Guard, already down 15% among people of color due to politicization fears. 3 legal battles would erupt. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker vows to block Chicago's deployment as illegal and un-American, echoing California's Gavin Newsom, and could drag on, testing federalism's limits. 5556 economically, safer streets might lure investments, as touted by the White House, but at the cost of civil liberties, with flag-burning bans and broad searches stoking First Amendment outcries. 5138. The political aftershocks. A earthquake for Democrats, already fracturing under the strain. Polls scream opposition. Just 38% of Americans back the D.C. troops, with 62% objecting and nearly 80% of Democrats viewing it as an authoritarian power grab targeting blue cities. 0.2617 Trump's approval ticks up to 53% on crime handling, buoying Republicans and independents weary of urban decay, but it risks alienating moderates who see militarization as overkill amid falling national rates. 45 Dem governors like Pritzker, Newsom, and Maryland's Wes Moore are rallying, accusing Trump of manufacturing crises to distract from gutted prevention grants, potentially galvanizing their base for midterms and boosting turnout against Trump's takeover. 5658 Yet, it could backfire internally. Progressives rage at any concession as a betrayal, while suburban Dems demand results on safety, forcing a Hobson's choice that deepens party rifts and hands GOP ammo for 2026. Vice President J.D. Vance nailed the divide, slamming Dem leaders for prioritizing politics over lives, calling it a real sickness. 38 In the end, this crackdown might deliver safer streets but at the price of a polarized nation, where unity frays and democracy teeters on the edge of executive might. As the drama intensifies, will triumph or turmoil prevail? Dive deeper with us for every riveting update. Smash that subscribe button today and join the front lines of truth. In America's unfolding saga,